All right, my anxiety, a daily diary, day 20, 2/3 of the way done. I just tried to make this video and my phone froze on me and I lost the recording. I was 10 minutes in. So, all right, let's get into it. Try this again. So, today's day 20. If you watched my video yesterday, or read my blog last night, yesterday I was having a pretty shitty day. In the video, it's almost 30 minutes long. It's the longest video I've made so far, and probably the longest I'll try to make them. Today, my anxiety is good. I have willed myself into a good mood because yesterday, after I made the video and I talked about it in the blog last night, I got a call back from the doctor. My blood test came back. My glucose index is 6.1. It's supposed to be 5.5. So I guess my overall sugar is a little high because I'm a fat ass and I like ice cream. I guess to work on that. My white blood cell count was a little high too. I guess because of whatever I'm fighting off, this allergies, this cold, this infection maybe in my body. I have no idea. So it kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop last night. I was thinking of pretty horrible stuff like I might have a disease, I might be dying, like all the worst things. The anxiety and the overthinking just went into red alert. By the end of the night, I sort of got myself out. I wanted to go see my girlfriend. I had a conversation with her. And basically, I kind of told her what happened, and I kind of was like, I felt bad because we've only been dating for about 2 months now. And, I felt like, I was dumping all this negative energy on her. Like, every day I have anxiety. So when I'm with her or I'm with anyone, it's just there. It takes up time and energy in my brain. And I was just apologizing to her and, felt bad. And she understood. And, things are actually going really well between us. So it made me feel better. And also I kind of was thinking about, like, I understand how people become reclusive and the anxiety or the depression or whatever mental illness makes them cut themselves off from society and the people they love and just like shut their windows and doors and just kind of like be by themselves. It just takes up so much of my time and energy that it just sucks. It sucks so bad. So tonight I'm going back to the doctor to follow up. I'm sure it's just, my body's fighting off a cold or an infection. I might have to take antibiotics. We'll see. I'm trying to not allow my imagination to run wild. And it's the reason why I've been sort of against medication for so long and haven't taken any. I kind of feel like the same part of my brain like makes the anxiety, it makes me overthink, it makes my imagination run wild, is the same place my creativity comes from. The same part of my brain that enjoys making these videos, writing my blog, making poetry, making art of any kind. So it's just like a double-edged sword in a sense. And I'm just dealing with that. So overall though, today my anxiety is pretty good. And what the mantra I've come up with, and I've said it to myself in the past, I've never actually shared it. It's corny, I think it's a little corny, but it works for me. It's been working for the past 12 plus hours. I've been repeating to myself the phrase, through sheer will and brute force. Meaning through sheer will and brute force I'll get through today. Through sheer will and brute force I will deal with whatever the doctor tells me tonight. And, feeling the way I feel, and you get very like depressed and self-loathing and apathetic and feel sorry for myself, the anxiety and the depression that comes with it sometimes, and the ups and downs and emotional roller coaster that's every day. It makes me feel pathetic. It makes me feel unappreciative of this life I have, this opportunity I have to be alive and, be a person, even for only a short period of time. The miracle of life. I'm not religious. I don't believe in any kind of whatever, but, the odds of being alive are slim, if you think about it. The odds of existing. So I'm trying to keep myself in good spirits. I'm trying to keep myself feeling good. And just, like I said, through sheer will and brute force, we'll deal. I'm saying you should fight your anxiety or fight your own mind. That usually makes it worse. But create your own, as corny as that sounds too, it's like a meme. Create your own sunshine. Create your own happiness. Deal with whatever comes. Being the passive observer. Being the passenger in a sense. I don't feel like it's a completely cop-out to do that, to just whatever comes, and just, ride the wave, like I ride the wave of anxiety, ride the wave of life. So I am in good spirits today so far. We'll see how the day progresses. I'll obviously write my blog after I go to the doctor tonight and update, my day. And like I said, if you guys are following me, I only really post on Instagram now. I'm not on Facebook or Twitter anymore, but it's the _Luniverse, and I'll post up my link to my Instagram username. I'll also put up my blog link in the description. You guys can check it out and read it. They tend to be a little long, like 5-6 paragraphs. I'm trying to keep them as short as possible, and I feel like I could make them even longer. I could just go on and on and on, but I'm trying not to do that. But the reason why I do this, make these videos, write the blog now, it does make me feel better. And I feel like if you do it, it will make you feel better. To write it out or say it out loud. What your problems are, what your goals are for the day. My plan, obviously, is to go to the doctor and figure out what's going on and, deal with it, whatever may come. It's probably nothing too serious, but the anxiety and the overthinking part of the brain, of course, would like you to believe otherwise. So, I'm also going to see my psychologist on Friday. I have some questions for her. I mean, I like the woman. I like talking to her. I feel like it does help a little bit. But I need to, I don't know. I've never actually been officially diagnosed with anxiety. I mean, having conversations with her, she'll say things like, yeah, it's obvious you have anxiety and overthinking and whatever, but I've never actually really been diagnosed with anything. And that's a question I want to ask her, what exactly? And I don't even like the diagnosis. I feel like a lot of that stuff just comes about just to prescribe medications. That might be a cynical way of looking at it, I don't know. But I know how I feel. I know I've been dealing with this for years, and it's made me a hypochondriac. It's made me, last night when I got that phone call, I started freaking out inside. I mean, I was keeping it together, but I was not happy, and it just ruining my day, and it was just making me scared. To be perfectly honest, I try to be as honest as I can. It's making me really afraid, just scared. And I was feeling like that way last night. I was feeling like I'm scared of life. The anxiety and the hypochondria that comes along with it, and depression that is a byproduct of it as well, just makes me afraid, and I feel like I'm losing my life, and I'm not living my life. And yeah, we always say things like live every day like it's your last, and live life to the fullest, and blah blah blah. I feel like most of us don't do it, and to be perfectly honest, I don't think I've ever lived my day like it was my last or to the fullest. I don't think I've done it one single day in my life. And it makes me kind of, like I said, feel pathetic and feel, sorry for myself and all those things. And I don't like to feel that way. On top of being anxious and making me get depressed because of that, it just makes everything worse. So I've been repeating that mantra to myself through sheer will and brute force. Just, keep myself standing on my 2 feet, keep my head up. Just, I don't want to say ignore the physical symptoms and ignore my mind, but just, I was doing it a couple weeks ago, and I need to continue. It's just talk down to the anxiety, fuck you. No. Because last night, that was running through my head. I was thinking the worst. I'm really sick, I have a disease, I have cancer, I have leukemia, an aneurysm, a brain tumor, I'm gonna die soon. My life, my life is over, it's ruined, and just the worst thoughts that you could think. I mean, I don't know if that's how it affects you, but the anxiety, the hypochondria that comes along with it just makes me feel so shitty, so bad, so pathetic. And then you start beating yourself up about feeling that way, and it's just a cyclical, horrible cycle that never ends. So I need to figure out a better plan. Obviously, my plan is to go to the doctor, figure that out, see my psychologist on Friday, which is in 2 days, and enjoy the life that I have and stop being so afraid to take risks. I saw something today, someone I follow on Instagram, she posted something, and again, these are just memes, little pictures with words on them that just, I needed it today. It was something along the lines of don't be afraid to turn life's like a book, and you can't be afraid to turn the next page, because if you don't turn the next page, you never get to the next chapter and find out what that is. You're going to get stuck. And that's how I feel. I've felt this way for years, stuck. This anxiety is like an anchor around my neck. And it keeps me from truly, I didn't go to the open mic last night. I didn't read my poetry like I wanted to. It keeps me from doing the things that I love to do. And I always say the only way to fight the anxiety is to just continue doing the task at hand. Whether it's work or play or whatever it is. Any part of your life. The only way to actually deal with it and quote unquote beat it is to continue being who you are and do what you do. And through sheer will and brute force, be the person that you're supposed to be. Whatever that is. And if I'm being totally honest, I'm not really practicing what I preach. I'm not following my own advice. It's hard. And I know it sounds like an excuse or a cop-out, but it's so exhausting. And I understand why people just like cut themselves off from society. I kind of feel like it's a cop-out and a weak way of doing things, and I would criticize it at times in my life, but I do understand it. And I don't want to be that way. I don't want to get that way, and I feel like I've wasted so much time in my life dealing with this and worrying about stuff and being anxious that, you know, I am still relatively young, but so much time has been wasted, and life is short no matter how you slice it. Even if I live to be 80, I'm sure even at 80 years old, you don't want to die. You know, you always see like in the movies, like an old person's laying in bed dying. They're like, I'm ready, you know, they're tired or whatever. And I get that some people probably are like that, but I just feel like that kind of sediment in movies and films and books and, you know, media and culture, I don't know, I just feel like that's like wishful thinking. That's like the writer and even the people who make the movies, you know, trying to give us levity. It's like, oh, well, at some point you're going to be okay with death and just fine with it. I'm sure you will be. I'm sure I will be. But I just don't, I think that's, I don't know, it doesn't feel right. You know, it's like the poem, you know, don't go gently into that good night, you know, rage against the dying of the light, basically. That's what it is. That's that mantra I've been repeating to myself all day. I mean, I've done it over the past few weeks especially, but all day today, yesterday afternoon and night, through sheer will and brute force, I'll get through today. Through sheer will and brute force, I will deal with whatever the doctor tells me. Through sheer will and brute force, I will be a person. I will live. I will not just fold like a lawn chair and, you know, curl up in a ball and hide or die. And I think that's how I'm going to leave it today. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped in any way whatsoever. And, you know, please like, share, subscribe this video, subscribe to this channel. Check out my blog. I'll be writing the new entry tonight. And enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 21.